All right, now to get more on this story, I'm now joined by our North American correspondent, Neda Taufik, who speaks to us now from New York. Neda, thanks so much for your time. I imagine you've been hearing plenty of reactions to Mamdani's win. Give us a sense of what people are saying.
Yeah, well, look, it was interesting when Zohran Mamdani was asked at his press conference today what his kind of main feelings and takeaways were from his victory. And he talked about seeing the hope of so many people waiting outside of his victory party to hear from him, the hopes that they had for his term in office. And he said one of those he spoke with was an immigration advocate. And he said that she told him that the part of his speech that resonated most with her was where he said that a city powered by immigrants would now be led by one. And that was certainly something that I heard from those that were there last night, celebrating as the DJ played music and as people were embracing in a joyful mood. They felt that they were with Zohran Mamdani finally being seen in this diverse city. They felt that they had hope and faith in politics again, that they could actually participate in the political process and have a say. So there is real jubilance around New York today from his supporters. Of course, now the challenge is how he delivers on those promises. He has insisted again today that they weren't just slogans to help him win this campaign, that he wants to deliver on that. He will need not just a kind of continued support of this movement and broad coalition he's built, but also state lawmakers who will have to fund his proposals. And he will have to try to navigate the very tricky relationship with Donald Trump, of course, who has tried to call him a communist and threatened to cut federal funding. So amidst the jubilance, there is this sense that Zohran Mamdani stands for something very different to Donald Trump, and a sense of whether or not he can make it work and push Democrats through on a national stage.
Neda, if you can, do tell us more about, and you've alluded to this already, Zohran Mamdani's campaign, what he promised, which I believe New Yorkers are keenly waiting for the implementation of now that he's gotten the vote.
Yeah, well, some of his key promises have been, for example, universal free child care. That is something that New York's Governor Kathy Hochul has said she wants to try to work with him to achieve, even though she's against raising taxes on the wealthy. That's the way that Zohran Mamdani has said he plans to fund that $5 billion plan. And it's interesting because I spoke with other kind of business leaders in the city who have been lukewarm towards him. But some of them are actually also on board with the plan for universal child care, saying that that will help with labor force participation to get more people working, because they struggle often to get kind of quality workers because of their own child care issues. But he's also proposing, for example, to make buses free. Whether or not that is feasible will really depend on if he can get state lawmakers to fund that. He also wants to freeze rents. He says that is necessary to give New Yorkers in America's most expensive city immediate relief until they can increase housing supply. But some of his critics say that that will just put the burden on landlords who are already facing increasing insurance costs and also private taxes going up. So a lot to unpack there with his agenda. We'll see how he's able to navigate that.
Thank you so much, Neda Taufik, for joining us with